Hello guys, welcome back to What's Trending Crypto. To find out about future update on trends, make sure to hit the subscription notifications bell. Okay. Let's talk about what's trending today.
Per a report from the Japan Times, the Asian country has started to discuss ways in which Russia could use crypto to escape sanctions. The Russian Federation has been hit by the international community after the consummation of their invasion of Ukraine. Thus, Japan, the European Union, the United States, and other countries have decided to impose unprecedented sanctions on the Vladimir Putin-led country and its elite. However, regulators and political actors around the globe have raised concerns over the possible use of crypto to circumvent financial penalties. According to the report, Japan's Virtual and Crypto Assets Exchange Association are discussing ways to maintain sanctions against Russia effectively. The Japan Times quotes a regulatory official familiar with the matter. The Japanese institutions are specifically trying to come up with a method to prevent sanctioned entities and people to transfer digital assets. The quoted official claims Japan is not currently looking into preventing access to cryptocurrencies for all Russian citizens. In that way, the Asian country is allegedly only trying to prevent traditional finances and digital assets to become tools for sanctioned individuals to escape the measures. The Japan Times added the following from Shinichi Suzuki, Finance Minister for Japan. We are closely watching the situations of settlements such as crypto assets and SPFS in order to secure effectiveness of sanctions against Russia. The report from the Japan Times claims digital assets are potentially be sent from one person directly to another regardless of any government sanctions or other restrictions. Therefore, claiming this asset class is more convenient to avoid sanctions. However, the Japan Times fails to acknowledge that digital assets are run on public blockchains. The transparency of the transactions on the network seems a disadvantage and deterrent from people trying to remain in the shadows and escape international authorities. Why crypto is the worst tool to try to avoid sanctions? Brian Armstrong, CEO of leading U.S. crypto exchange Coinbase, seems to agree with this idea. In a thread shared via his Twitter account, the executive said the following on the risk of digital assets becoming an escape for sanctioned entities and individuals. We don't think there's a high risk of Russian oligarchs using crypto to avoid sanctions. Because it is an open ledger, trying to sneak lots of money through crypto would be more traceable than using US dollars cash, art, gold, or other assets. A case could be made that cash US dollars or physical gold bars are better to fulfill this objective. However, international regulators and political actors are using these arguments potentially as a way to illegitimize cryptocurrencies. Armstrong quoted Carol House, National Security Council Director, to strengthen his defense for digital assets. House believes the scale of the sanctions makes digital assets an inefficient way for Russia to try to circumvent sanctions. On the contrary, Armstrong and other exchange executives have stated that crypto has become a way for people directly affected by the conflict to access money and services crucial to their survival. The executive added, ordinary Russians are using crypto as a lifeline now that their currency has collapsed. Many of them likely oppose what their country is doing, and a ban would hurt them too. That said, if the US government decides to impose a ban, we will of course follow those laws. At the time of writing, the crypto total market cap stands at $1.72 trillion as it trends lower on the 4-hour chart. It's a women's world. Bakkt commissioned a study that shows women are investing in cryptocurrencies and closing the gender gap. The paper, titled Women in Crypto, shows women are now outpacing men as first-time purchasers. No surprise there, if you're paying attention. It's useful to have concrete numbers though. A self-described global regulated ecosystem for digital assets, Bakkt stated its study goals as, the gender gap in crypto has been well documented, but little data exists for how the industry can move forward in a more inclusive way. The paper measures awareness and attitudes toward cryptocurrency among women, who both own and do not own crypto, and how it differs from men who own. The practical details of Bakkt's study are as follows. The study surveyed 1,012 consumers including 508 women who don't own cryptocurrency, but have basic level of awareness, 254 women who own crypto and 250 men who own crypto across the US, and was fielded in February 2022. Another important characteristic is that the study was heavy up in 25 to 44 age bracket recruitment for all three segments. Let's go to the numbers and see what the company found out. What did Bakkt's data show? Even though this is a US-centric study, and we might not be able to extrapolate the results to the whole world, the numbers are interesting. Bakkt found out that Let's hope this tendency continues for years to come. Men were early crypto adopters, but women are now outpacing men as first-time purchasers. 38% of women made their first crypto purchase in past 6 months compared to 30% of men. These excuses will sound familiar. The top barriers identified by women who don't currently own crypto include not knowing how to get started, 52%, not understanding crypto utility, 52%, and lacking extra funds to invest, 49%. Considering the state of the world, the surprise is that the percentages aren't even higher. The majority of men, 69%, and women, 54%, crypto owners say they plan to increase their holdings in the next 6 months. There's no rush. Everybody at their own pace. The majority of women, 61%, own less than $500 in crypto. Crypto owners versus no coiners. There's no substitute for direct contact. In this section of Back's study, the difference between male and female takes a back seat to the fact that no coiners feel lost in the crypto world. Crypto owners feel like they know about the subject more than those who haven't had hands-on experience with crypto assets. 70% of no-coiners rate their crypto knowledge as low or very low, which compares to only 13% of male crypto owners and 22% of women crypto owners who rate their knowledge as low or very low. Women no-coiners select confusing, risky, and scary as top words to describe how they perceive crypto. On the other hand, crypto owners of both sexes share some of the same top words including opportunity, growth, bold, and revolutionary. In this female-only item, 82% of women who have purchased crypto say they are likely to purchase in the future, compared to only a third of women no-coiners. What are these people buying though? According to Bakkt, both men and women crypto owners in the study reported their top coin investments as Bitcoin and Ether. Here's a chart that goes even deeper and mentions the internet's favorite meme coin, Doge. Bakkt isn't the only one. Other recent studies. Were these papers produced to celebrate Women's History Month and International Women's Day? Probably so. And that's great. Recently, BlockFi published the results of a similar study. Always ready, Bitcoinists summarized them as follows. The latest survey from BlockFi shows that women are more interested in cryptocurrencies than ever, with 1/3 planning on buying digital assets this year. Furthermore, 60% of these women say they will be doing so within the next few months. The current survey depicts double women's interest compared to the exact nature of the study conducted in September 2021, resulting in 29% of women showing interest in buying crypto next year. To close this, let's quote Nancy Gordon, Bakkt's Chief Product Officer. Despite recent crypto volatility, there's continued momentum for women's crypto adoption, and it's reassuring to see that the barriers to entry can be overcome through education.
Thank you for your time and make sure hit the subscribe button for future update on what's trending.
There's continued momentum for women's crypto adoption, and it's reassuring to see that the barriers to entry can be overcome through education.
Thank you for your time and make sure hit the subscribe button for future update on what's trending.